Welcome to TMZ Live. So the trial for the murder of Tupac Shakur is underway. And there is something very interesting going on here because Keefe D, who is on trial not for shooting and killing Tupac Shakur, but for orchestrating it.
Right, for being the mastermind who, according to police, actually bought the gun, put the gun in the hands of the man who did pull the trigger that night in Vegas 30 years ago. Now, as you mentioned, you know, Tupac was in the car, but in the passenger seat. The person who was driving the car was Suge Knight, head of Death Row Records.
And, you know, a lot of the people in this case now have died. And
including the man who allegedly pulled the trigger.
That's right. But the one person who knows a lot is Suge Knight.
Is Suge.
And Suge, up to this point, has said, I ain't talking. I'm not talking. I am not talking. But Suge at least is talking to us.
Right.
Because he is on the phone with us right now.
And I'm imagining he is going to be watching what happens in this trial very closely. And he is joining us now. Suge Knight, welcome back to TMZ Live.
What's up with y'all, man?
So listen, and number one, we really appreciate you calling. We should let people know that you are incarcerated now, so you may hear a prison voice,
right?
Kind of monitoring.
From time to time.
But look, what do you make of
Harvey, I think everybody know I'm in the penitentiary.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason the graphic that we're putting up shows you in his prison.
It's a fair point, Suge.
But just in case, Suge, we just want everyone to know.
It's a fair point.
You always show pictures of me in prison. Wow.
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Orange is not your color necessarily. I got it.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So first thing I want to say is that, you know, it's always a pleasure talking to you guys. But the thing is that Tupac has so much influence. And I'm always happy to have so many people who love him. You know, my son, Legend, him and his friends, that's their favorite rapper. And my son, Legend, now, he's a basketball player, but he want to be an artist and rapper because of Tupac.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So when I spoke with his mother, by the way, is one of the greatest mothers around. Tori does a great job with my son. She said that's all he want to do is be a rapper. And my granddaughter, sister, even says she loves him. So that says a lot. That makes me happy, you know?
Yeah, no doubt Tupac's influence is immense. So knowing that and knowing that your son idolizes him, I would think that you're very interested in what happens in this trial.
Well, I'm interested in that it should really be a teaching moment. We've been through so much over the years, right? And not just, I mean, for his hip-hop, for a black man, we go through a lot. And society goes through a lot, in society, period. And we can't learn from it and learn something about it and teach something, we're wasting our time. So I definitely always down for trying to make everybody get a better view of life to help.
So, you know, the interesting thing about this case is that, you know, what the prosecution is saying is that the best witness for them is Keefe D, because he essentially confessed that he wrote a book. He's talked about this on podcasts. He's now kind of moonwalking back here and saying, well, I had a ghostwriter in the book. What do you make of that?
He's full of I look at it like this. It's not about picking on Keefe D, but at the same time, most of his situations, I know he did it to himself. I knew his lawyer. His lawyer was a friend of mine, and I knew about him having immunity and doing that deal a long time ago. But the crazy thing about it, for 30 years or so or more, it cost me my freedom, it cost me money, it cost me business deals. I paid a lot for the fact that from day one, even though I got a bullet an inch into my skull, they always says I'm the one who had Tupac killed, which is far from the truth. Every person who participated in that, they never brung up. But I believe in giving everybody the opportunity. I have a book coming out called Your Pain Is My Joy. It was coming out this month. When I found out that he wasn't been going to trial, I said, well, I'm not going to put the book out. I'll put it out in September because it'll be too much, you know, for them to deal with. He deserves a fair shake. But I think what he should do, he already told everything. He already told on himself. He should deal with a situation where make it best for everybody. Put it in a situation where there's a lot of people who participated and a lot of people who they don't talk about. And I'm not here to say they should get punished because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the revenge. I believe that my kindness comes from God. My strength comes from God. So I'm not on that page and saying they need to get punished, but it's sort of sad that every person has all dropped everything on Keefe D. When you look at it, he got immunity, so they can never charge him again. But then he was in bed and dealing with a guy that knew if you do a book, he was on one podcast 7 times, another podcast 5 times, and he did a book.
So, Suge,
that destroyed his immunity.
Suge, I know you've told us over the years that you're not snitching, you're not naming any names, but it does sound like you were saying there are other people involved.
You said
beyond Keefe D.
many others.
And even though Keefe D is the guy standing trial, that there are many others involved?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say these guys' names, but everybody knows. One thing you got to realize, even in my book, that's why I pushed it back. It tells the details of certain things, but it's still no names involved. If that's all you got to look around and see the people, even people who got the fake death row. They've been talking and talking and talking and talking. All of a sudden, it get close to this situation with Keefe D, everybody's quiet. One thing I also want to say is that there was a girl I knew back in the day named SKG. She was black, Asian, about 5'6", 115 pounds. Now somebody else said they SKG. And they deal with a person that deals with Keefe D. They deal with a person who hated Tupac. All these people were saying the most horrible things about Tupac that you possibly can say about a man. And it was all lies. Now they want to act like they're going to report what's going on. But these guys is in Keefe D's camp who tried to bail him out and help him. I don't look for bad on him, but I don't look for good on him. It is what it is. But at the same time, I think it's an opportunity for him to clear the board.
Are you saying...
He know the truth.
Are you saying that there's someone who either hired or sent Keefe D on this mission to kill Tupac?
You know, one of the things you got to realize, this was an assassination. It wasn't over no chain. It wasn't over no colors. This was assassination. And they can do one who assassinated Kennedy and everybody can talk about it. But when it comes to Tupac, nobody really wants the truth because the fact that the truth would have set me free. The truth wouldn't have caused them, the same people who allowed them to lie on me, it's the same people. You got to remember one thing, Harvey.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
What I like about you, Harvey, we got a lot in common. You started TMZ, you are TMZ. I done seen people over the years say, you know what? I'm going to start my own TMZ. You know what? I'm going to do some on my own. And they fail, and they fail, and they fail. That's like what people say about Death Row. Well, I'm going to start my own Death Row. I'm going to be Death Row. And they fail, and they fail, and they fail. That's why I with you, because we got a lot in common. But this is the thing. When it's all said and done, this really, all this stuff, constantly destroying hip-hop. Hip-hop is one of the most influenced art that you can think of. And even today, you got guys still paying for stuff that they have no reason to get a fair shake. Shots goes out to Lil Durk. Shot goes out to the other little young guy who's real, Pooh Shiesty. even NBA guy. It's on us to lay our truth down to help the people behind us. We so caught up in look at me, look at me, look at me. We got to figure out how to fix this. Only way we can fix this is by putting everything on the table.
So, you know, Suge, I have talked to you. I have talked to you over the years about this, and there's something I don't understand, because you just said a few minutes ago that you are not into revenge. That's why you're not going to talk. But Tupac was a close friend of yours, and isn't there a difference between revenge and justice? That you said earlier that Keefe D is full of and that you were kind of scoffing at him. So do you feel like there should be, I guess, what I call justice in the system, where he's convicted and maybe others come forward and are convicted as well? Or do you think they should all be shut down?
Well, I think it's no justice from a man come from the inner cities in the courts. I think it's all revenge. So we never get justice. So when you really look at it,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
you just had it on your show, a white woman stabs a black man to death and kills him, and they get 3 or 4 years. People had guns, and they had tests to prove they was trying to kill me. It was a hit, and someone dies, and look how much time I got.
Seems like Suge was watching yesterday. He made the reference to Courtney Clenny
Yeah.
getting out in less than 2 years.
Well, you heard they said 60 seconds left, and they mean business in the penitentiary. So we have lost Suge, but I think he gave us his view of.
I really want to hear from him once Keefe D takes the stand and says whatever he's going to say. Because it sounds like what Suge really wants is for Keefe D to name some of those names of the other people.
Sounded like it to me.
allegedly
I want to
involved.
read his book.
Yeah.